Not really.
When you're ready. Yeah. Do you guys want to see?
She came in and signed it.
No, just not right now. Just cover, just for fun. No, we're good. Just want to do. Oh my gosh. Make Joe nervous.
I was down this way before.
Run by the UK room.
Yeah, one last one more time.
My contract comes with lawyers. We run the numbers.
Okay.
Certified. So.
All right, please stand. Call this meeting to order. Please stand for pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Also going to read our mission statement in partnership with the communities. The mission of the Dilworth Glen Falls School District is to educate individuals in an environment of trust and respect so they become self-directed, responsible, lifelong learners. Roll call. All board members are present, as well as Superintendent Hunstead, Principal Joe O'Keefe, and guests. So everybody, welcome. Any changes to the agenda?
There is none.
No changes to the agenda. Do we have a motion? So moved. Motion by Nicole. Is there a second? Second. Second by Brittany. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments, rebel recognition. No public comments tonight, but any rebel recognition, team.
Shout out to all the Rebel Kids Care and Rebel Success. It sounds like everything's going super well, and the lunches seem to be doing good from what I've heard.
Yep.
That's always good. And the DC trip that we were on that I missed the last meeting was fabulous. So good. All our kids represented very well. We saw kids from other districts who maybe weren't as well behaved. So we were very grateful for ours and their choices.
Wonderful. Anything else? All right, let's head on to reports here. 6.1, board committee reports, facilities and transportation committee.
We met last time, and basically the agenda was to discuss negotiations and starting point with where we want to be with our budget and that kind of thing. So that was the main. Shannon has continued to negotiate with them, and we're going to meet with the transportation groups on Friday morning before the workroom session. So, okay. Anything you want to add?
That was pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have meetings? Oh yeah, we got meetings. Yeah, we started. Sorry, thank you, David. We basically just went over our timeline, set a couple meetings, and then kind of our just courtesy rules each way, how we will negotiate, and yeah.
Looking good.
Looking good. Yep. So we're gonna meet Thursday night, start language. So that'll be good. All right, 6.2, superintendent report.
All right, well, I think I briefly brought this up, and I can't remember if it was the last board meeting or if it was another gathering we had as a committee, but a little conversation about having that last day and early out. So nothing again, we don't have to make a motion or anything tonight, but again, I think we want to put this on the agenda soon. Can we discuss any questions about what that's about? It's the end of and Joe's here today too, so if you had questions for Joe after, if you want to talk to him more about why Katie and Joe brought it to me, and just the end of the day was just more babysitting than anything else. So half a day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be a half day and have lunch and they could head out. That way it gives the school time to get ready for that graduation. They like the time that we had it, 5 o'clock, but if we have a full day, it's like they're not even hardly out of here, and then people are coming, and grandparents, you know, like us, and they have to run. It just, you got to be too tight.
Okay.
So they're just asking if that last day could be a half day. We can clean up things in the morning, get things organized. If there's a final or whatever that needs to happen, they could. But then the afternoon can just be to get ready for graduation. So.
Is it half day enough?
Well, we already have it on our calendars in May, so that doesn't affect, I guess. So, yeah. No, it's a fair question. Yeah. And then have the teachers come back after. No, never mind. So anyway, again, if we're not have any motions tonight, we're not having any resolutions. Joe is here, so if you had questions about, if there's other motivations or thoughts you guys have, please ask, okay? July 10th board meeting, we've already talked about that. We moved it to the Wednesday, July 12th. Thank you for doing that. For me, I'm out of town on the 10th, so I do appreciate that. Community meetings. So we did have the Dilworth one last week, I should say. We have the Glennon one coming up this Wednesday. We had a small group, but very good questions. There was a lot of good conversation, and so it's that opportunity. It's the first time you do something. I would say the first time is not always well attended because people kind of, oh, that's right, that happened. So anyway, it's good to have. It was nice. Thank you, board members, for being there too, because you get to hear some questions and thoughts from those community members. And so hopefully Wednesday here in Glendon goes well. The tours went well too on last, was it Thursday? I'm losing track of my days. Anyway. Wednesday, it was Wednesday, okay. And that went well. We had some people come that had graduated from Dilworth in the past, and so they thought it was really, interesting to see how much it had changed, which obviously it has changed quite a bit. So, yeah, so those were good, and hopefully then this Wednesday, Glendon goes well.
What time are the tours?
5:30 it starts. Thank you for saying that, Laura. MetroCog. So we've met with them about safe roads to school. They want to do a presentation to the city of Glendon and to the board. So here's what I came up with. So those that can make it Wednesday on the board, we're just going to meet in the high school conference room at 5:15. He has about a 15-minute presentation to go over stuff right before the tours. So as many of you that can make it, 5:15, if you don't want to stay for the tour or whatever, if you can, that's great too. But thank you for saying that. We just got it finalized on Friday. So I wanted to make sure I brought that up tonight. So thank you, Laura, for reminding me. Okay, 5:15 Wednesday at the high school conference room. Next thing on there is the school video. That went out on Friday. I've heard and received quite a few compliments. Obviously, we have three of the stars of the show are here tonight. And actually more. Lindsay did a nice job too. You guys have got to see it kind of through the process of getting it to the final copy, but I've heard a lot of positive comments on that, and I hope that just sends a great message to our community and those that come new to our community, so they feel confident and comfortable coming here or sending their kids here. So, anyway, next was Summit Conference. Last week, our whole admin team, there was one staff member that also was there, attended the summit in Detroit Lakes. Jim Cassis was there, and I was fortunate enough to be called a name during the conference, so I got a free book. I won't say the name because I can't. And then he said, thanks for being a good sport. Anyway, he also wrote this book, Culturize. This is a book that probably changed me the most as a leader, and how every day in school is who's in control of it. It's each person individually, and then create an environment so those people can thrive. And so, again, the admin team was there. We had a lot of good breakout sessions, and it was very informative and good. So if you have any questions or anything on that, I'd love to share more. A very passionate guy. He was a high school principal. He was, principal for 20-some years anyway. He was in the Milwaukee school system. He grew up in Iowa. So he's an interesting guy, but he's very passionate about it. And of course, he wrote a book, so he doesn't have to be principal anymore. But anyway, so again, very good summit attended by the admin team. Preschool. So this is just something I want to throw out there too. We know we have a preschool teacher that teaches 3 days a week. She does not, she works for Morehead State another couple days. That position, we thought we kind of maybe could fill it a different way. It's just, we can't because we have too many other needs for that special ed teacher with other kids. So they did the preschool interviews. We got a strong person that you have on your board meeting agenda tonight to approve. They had a second one that was very good as well, and they're wondering if we can offer this person the 2 days, the Thursday, Friday, and then also have that person as a sub the other 3 days, as an elementary teacher, as a middle school We spent $140,000 on subs last year. That is the final number. I was telling you earlier it's 125, but Marcus gave me the final numbers here end of last week. So I think hiring this person and that, so this is just something for you guys to think about. I'm still working through it with Marcus. I have a long meeting with him tomorrow again about budget things. We're gonna need the person, no question about it, in two ways. One, obviously, is a preschool teacher, and the second is as a sub user every day. So I want you guys to start thinking about that too, I guess, or plant that seed. Okay? That's the 30-second rendition of the superintendent update. Questions?
On the website, did it say 3 long-term subs for kindergarten?
We still need them. We don't have any at this time.
Long-term subs.
Yep, we have some people on leave to start the school year next year. There are, I want to say one's on a 10 weeks left of her leave, and the other ones I think are 12. So we have 12 weeks that we need covered for 2 people, and the other one, it's 10 or 11. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But and right now, we do not have anybody. I'd still like us to have kindergarten in the fall, so anyway, I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be nice? So yeah, we're still looking and searching, so. Yeah, I talked to Brittany and Wayne about it last week, and they said, right now, there's nobody that's interested, so. And you know our subs are at a premium, so we're taking 3 subs out of the mix, which we're
Sounds
gonna have
like
to.
we might need a teacher sub for 3 days.
Well, so that's the other part. This person can help with that, at least for 3 days a week, and so. If you know anybody, if anybody knows anybody, please talk to them. We need, we'd like to visit with somebody with a 4-year degree that has a passion for kids. A 4-year degree, did I say 4 or 3 in my head? So, anyway, yeah. So it's July almost, and it's nerve-wracking. So,
Very nervous, yeah.
other questions?
Eileen sent out an email about the bus routes.
Yes.
That's being worked on right now, and it said to click on the student info tab.
Okay.
But there wasn't access to that. I don't know if anybody else has problems with it, you do too.
But okay.
Yeah, it's,
So in case,
there's no tab.
there's no tab, yeah. And she got back to me and she said that it's blocked for some people. So I don't know what, I don't know.
The tab is
But she asked for our feedback by June 30th, and so if we're not able to see it, then that's not gonna help her. So-
So the tab is an
I've had
active?
people reach out and say, I can't find it, is it just me type of thing? And I couldn't, the tab is just not showing, so unless it's inactive for parents maybe, or.
Was she gonna resend it, did she say, or?
She didn't say, she just said that it's blocked for some.
Okay, I'll check
Is
on
it one of those mobile issues where you have to be on a desktop?
computer.
Yeah, I tried on
Or
mine
your
too.
computer? Okay, because sometimes there's mobile issues.
Yeah, that's what I thought, so I tried on my computer and I couldn't see it either.
And I think she
Okay.
just needs to know if whatever is listed under each child, whether or not they take the bus or not, or if they walk or whatever.
Everybody's in post correct.
Right, so she told her, she doesn't want your kid's bus, I'll email her, but.
Yeah, well, there's 3 out of 3 here that have issues, so I'll check with her tomorrow. Maybe she needs to check with John as well to make that tab accessible.
Yeah.
Maybe a tech, yeah, just a
Yeah.
hidden feature that
Sure.
maybe isn't ready to like publish yet or something, I don't know.
Yeah, well, if we need to know by June 30th, we gotta get it out like tomorrow or tonight. Okay, I'll check with her on that. Good, thank you. Other questions for me?
All right, so we'll move on to 7.1. This is the approval of the regular meeting June 12th. Do we have a motion? Motion by Amy, is there a second? Second by Laura. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Sorry.
Motion carries. We have 8.1, claims and accounts. Laura?
$419,551.03.
All right, also included in our consent agenda is our treasurer's monthly budget report. We have no resignations. That's a plus.
It's awesome. We'd have asked them,
Positive.
we would have asked them to sub in kindergarten.
I was gonna say, look at, this is short. This summer, I love it.
I do too.
Okay, do we have a motion? Motion, oh, I got a David, a second over here. Yep. Nicole? All right, any questions or discussion?
I do, why did we pay, for out-of-state tuition to Fargo Public Schools?
What did we pay?
Or like, what was the purpose of that?
Yep, we have a student, that
Our
has,
district that
yeah,
goes there?
that actually doesn't go to a Fargo school, but needs some extra support. So then we get billed for their time at that, in that facility.
I asked that a few months or last month.
Yep, I had asked it like when I first got here.
I know we've discussed it, I just couldn't remember, and I was
That's fine.
like,
Great question.
No, it's a great question, that's right.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 9, new and unfinished business. 9.1, this is our depository. This is to approve the designation of Northwestern Bank of Dilworth, MSD-LAF and MSD Max as official depositories for the 23-24 school year. We have a motion. Motion by David, is there a second? Second by Amy. Any questions or discussion? Hearing no questions or discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9.2, this is to set the district-wide impress fund as a replenishable maximum of $6,000 effective July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, and authorize Marcus Asfig, Brooke Belka, and Shannon Henson to sign and issue checks. Do we have a motion?
so moved.
Motion by Nicole, is there a second?
Second.
I think I got Micah. Micah, did you say?
Don't matter.
Okay, that's okay, you gotta speak up, loud and proud. Any questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 9.3 investments. This is to authorize the treasurer or Shannon Hunstead, superintendent of schools, to invest the school district cash pursuant to board policy effective July 1st, 23 through June 30th, 24. Do we have a motion? Motion by David, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany, any questions or discussion? Hearing no questions or discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9.4, FY '24 budget. This is to approve the FY '24 preliminary budget as presented. We will do a motion and a second, and then we'll have discussion. A motion? Motion by Nicole, is there a second? Second by Laura. All right, Shannon, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so you guys got it in your packet, right? You'll see that a couple things to highlight, and that is that we use 1525 is our number to generate, when you start playing with the state, they still haven't come out with all the changes yet. They have a lot of preliminary stuff we've got from MASA and from actually MDE today on what the preliminary numbers look like. They haven't put it into the system yet, but the numbers you see do reflect most of those updated changes from the state. So it's always tough when you do a preliminary budget and you're waiting on the legislators to get it completely to you. So Marcus was kind of very nervous last week, like, okay, we got some stuff, but we don't have it all, and so now we're gonna give him a preliminary budget. How accurate? I said, it's gonna be fairly close. Everything that I went through and all the meetings I went to, I said, your numbers are gonna be, we're gonna be in the ballpark. So it's just, and of course, we have to set a final budget in December or January. That's when we'll have all those numbers official, so. But I just wanted to let you know that we used our enrollment number of 1525. Our projection for the fall, just on maturation, so seniors coming out, new kids coming in, we're looking closer to 140-ish, or I'm sorry, 1540. But we want to play this conservative, because last year I started to set it at about 1530, 35, and then all of a sudden we're losing some and we're down. So with that number at 1525, the state funding and all the revenues, you can see down there, we're going to be a positive budget of 63,000. That does have some calculation for teachers' contract. It does have some calculation in there for transportation contract. It does have the building and grounds director in that. It does have this kindergarten addition that we're hopefully going to pass tonight in that. So those things are built into this. It doesn't have the one I discussed here a little bit ago about adding that person, but,
Do we budget for substitutes already though, so will that offset
We
that
do.
somewhere?
we do, so it'll be, yeah. So that's a little bit of a wash somewhere in there. But just want you to know as we start looking at, okay, we're gonna do this building grounds, if we move forward with that, okay, how's it with the budget? Yep, it's built into that. There's some settlement numbers in there, I would imagine will come in under that, but because the board is a great negotiating group. Anyway, if you remember the past, my first year here, I think we were gonna have a deficit budget of about 280,000, last year we were about 240. You can see in our final budget, or very close to our final, we're doing okay. We did, if you also notice that back in that other one, our monthly budget, that we did use $685,000 of our ESSER funds. Remember last year we had that issue that it didn't get transferred by the end of the year, the fiscal year. This year that did get shifted over. So with all of that, this number, I still want it to be better than the 64, but it is a positive budget based on those numbers. So you can kind of see the expenses and the revenue and kind of where that comes out. You can also see some other things. Marcus and I have another meeting again tomorrow. He was not here today, he had another fire engagement. So we have some fine tuning to do on this. As you know, as soon as it's set up, whether you're gonna see it in July, you'll see it in August, you'll see it in September, and we'll finalize it in December or January. So any other questions about that preliminary budget? Marcus wanted me to make sure you guys knew, remember now, this is preliminary, it's very preliminary, because he was just panicking last week with the state numbers, and I said, you're okay. You're good. So,
Thank you. So we have a motion by Nicole, second by Laura. Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9.5, certification of updated district population estimate. This is for us to approve the certification of updated district population estimate. We're gonna get a motion in a second, and then Shannon will explain this. Motion, David, second by Laura, and Shannon, you got the floor.
okay, so MDE reached out to Tracy, our community ed director, and said, if your school passed this resolution about the population estimate and rerunning it, we can look at your numbers. Otherwise, they just roll them over, and we don't really know how many new births did we have, how many new 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds moved into the district. And so by you guys approving this tonight, now the state has the right to go in and check on our numbers in our district for our births to 5. And if that number's increased, obviously we get more funding. And so they're suggesting to us that we should do this every year, because you don't know what happens, right? And more new people move into your district that have 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, whatever, and you're missing out on some of that funding. So, yep, so that's what it's about. So I think it's advantageous for us to pass this resolution. So,
When's the last time it was?
Never.
I'm new here.
I've
so-
done my 6.5 years. We've never done it. That's what I was like, when I saw it, I was like, Shannon, what is
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
You need to find out what this
yeah.
is, because it's not in the packet. I don't know.
Yeah, and Tracy shared with me about 3 weeks ago, so I'm going, I gotta go find out again, I can't remember, so
So, yeah.
anyway. Yep,
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any further questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9.6, this is a grade section increase. This is to approve the addition of another kindergarten section for the 23-24 school year. Do we have a motion? Motion by Amy, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Questions or discussion?
How many sections does this make?
this will make 7, we are, if we move to 7 right now, we'd be around 17, just short of 17 kids. We usually in August get more, and if we get 5 or 6, now we're at 18, if we're, you know what I mean? So I'd rather be on the front end. We offered a position to somebody last year that couldn't get out of a contract. They did visit with her, so we're gonna, if this gets approved then tonight, we want to pursue it. Obviously, we'll post the position, but she is still interested, so. And now has no contract issues. She reassured us, so at least we have a good, strong candidate too.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries. 9.7, this is a certified contract for Nicole Rinke, early childhood teacher, BA, plus 30, step 15, effective the start of the 23-24 school year. We have a motion. So moved. Motion by Nicole, is there a second? Second by David. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9.8, this is a non-certified contract for Jody Odegaard, paraprofessional, $18.41 an hour, effective the start of the 23-24 school year. Do we have a motion? So moved. Motion by Nicole, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Micah. Any questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, board comments, future agenda items. Just a reminder, this Friday at 8 a.m., we're gonna be meeting in here, I'm assuming. We're gonna do the work session for the school board. Your agenda is in front of you here, and basically the morning is gonna be the strategic plan, going over with the district leadership team. Laura and Brittany have both been on that and have been sharing with us. We're gonna go over our school year recap with all our administrators. We'll have lunch, and then the school board is going to do just some instruction review, budget committee, personnel committee, and so on. So that is what we've got going on Friday. And next board meeting is Wednesday, July 12th. I know Nicole will not be here. She'll be on a family vacation. Anybody else have any? Amy won't be here either. Okay, so if anything comes up, team, just make sure that you notify Shannon and I, make sure we have a quorum that Wednesday night. We'll meet in the community room, and then policy will meet after that. And you're not on policy. No, you're on policy. So Micah and Brittany, so they'll be able to meet still, if that's okay with them. And yeah, I think that's it. Anything else, team? No? Alrighty.